Watch as I take all of these items that I was ultimately looking to get rid of and made almost $1,000 during my garage sale despite living in the middle of nowhere in the Canadian Ontario countryside.
So, overall expenses. Day one, I made This is the crazy state of my shop right now. I'm having a garage sale at the end of May, so I have to organize all of this. Most of it is going to be sold in the garage sale, but some of it is not being sold. So I need to go through and I need to start organizing so that it's not so bad the weekend of.
So this area here throughout the winter just turned into a bit of a catch-all. So there are some stuff that I would dump there knowing that I was getting rid of it. As I was spring cleaning through the house and decluttering, I would just throw things in here. And then there's also some stuff left over from Christmas or DIY projects that I just didn't put away. So right now I'm just going through, I'm organizing everything. Anything that I'm not selling, I'm taking off of these tables. And then everything that I am selling, I am putting on the tables. And I'm just kind of rearranging it so that I will be able to, at least it'll be somewhat orderly, that I can take some photos of it.
Alright, we got everything laid out for the most part just so I could take some photos and start advertising. All that over there is just clothing. I don't have a way to hang it up yet, so it's just gonna hang out there for now. But yeah, this is what we have. So today's Saturday. I'm just about to head out to the shop. It's 1 week before I'm doing my garage sale, so I'm going to start cleaning, wiping things down, and pricing it. Alright, so I've been on an absolute spree, and I just keep finding more and more stuff around the house to throw in here to see how much we can sell. So as you can see, I have a bunch of stuff in the middle. The idea will be that on the day of, I'm going to push all of that outside so people can see it as they're coming in, and then we'll keep the tables kind of inside with all of the other stuff. For the most part, it's organized. So we got Christmas here, garden. I'm going to extend all the garden chairs and stuff out that way. Furniture we'll push out there. We got the clothing here. And then we just have kitchen stuff here. And this will be kind of like a decor area. So I'm still playing around with it. I found this table made out of hockey sticks on the side of the road. It looked like it just needed a very, very simple repair. It looked like all I gotta do is just secure this back onto here, and I'll see if I can sell it for a couple of dollars, which would be a good deal.
I never thought I'd fly over my own state. Something about those city lights calling out my name. Now mama, don't you cry. You know there'll come a day where I come visit you at home. And if I never stay, the same old that welcome sign with population getting by, crossing that county line brings back the good old days, with the same old station on the side of that homegrown two-lane paradise, watching that midnight sky you don't see in LA. This big world will always change, but the small town will stay the same. This concrete tree line's got my head up in the clouds.
Alright, so it is officially the day before the garage sale. I got the signs, they're all painted. I'm just going to, it looks like it might rain tomorrow and I need the signs to last 2 days. So I'm going to actually just put like a layer of polyurethane on it, just some extra stuff I have lying around. I'm then going to grab some plants. I have some spider plants that I'm ready to get rid of, so I'm going to put those in the plant sale, and they have like little babies coming off of them, so I'm just going to put those in smaller plants and then just put those for like $1 each kind of thing. Yeah, We got a very 90s look today to facilitate the garage sale. I find garage sales very nostalgic. I loved going to them as a kid. I loved going to my mom's when she had them. Because I live pretty much out in the middle of nowhere, I've had to really advertise for this, so I just made like a quick little poster using ChatGPT to advertise my garage sale, and every couple days I've just been uploading those onto the local community pages so that people know that this is happening. I'll have my sign out there, so the hope is actually a beach that people can go from the town and they'll actually pass my house. So what I'm hoping is if I have a nice sign with cute little balloons and stuff, people will see that and just stop by and see if I can make some extra sales that way. One of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to lay everything out exactly how I'll have it for tomorrow so that I know where everything's going to go first thing in the morning, because it'll be an early morning because it starts at 8. And then I'm going to take a video or some photos of what I have there and do one final advertisement of it, showing people what will actually be at the sale. So I'm hoping that will draw some people in if they see something that catches their eye. So yeah. So I have some pots here that I was looking to sell for about 50 cents each in the garage sale. But I'm looking to get rid of some plants, and I figured the garage sale would be a good time to do that. Pretty much all of my spider plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them. As you can see, I'm not the best at taking care of them. So I'm going to cut off the dead parts. I'm going to clean them up. And then I'm going to transfer them into these. And then I'll bring the prices up from 50 cents to $1. That will include the spider plant. And see if I can sell at least a few of those. The posters on here, and it doesn't matter what way you come from the road on, you'll be able to see it. So I'm just gonna put that at the entrance there so that people know to come in here, because they won't be able to see the sale from the road. And I'm just gonna add some balloons to make it pop. Alright, it's the next morning, so let's start setting up.
So as I was setting up around 7:30 a.m., people started showing up. Initially, they were looking for very specific things, some of those hardcore garage sailors, and it was pretty much steady after that up until around 11 a.m. Then the weather started to turn and it started to get a bit rainy.
Good, how are you? I'm just setting up it. Go ahead, take a look. Okay.
So this is what it looked like after the first day. I sold tons of stuff, even with the weather, and I just kind of took videos of what I had left, and I just kept advertising on Facebook for the next day. There was tons of interest in that bar there, and somebody actually ended up coming back in the afternoon to grab it.
Alright, day 2. Lots of stuff sold yesterday, so this is what we have left. So the garage sale's done. Overall, I'm super happy with how it turned out. I got rid of a lot of stuff. There's barely anything left. So today is the holiday Monday, so I was open Saturday, Sunday. While I'm in here, I just have the sign out front, so if anybody driving by wants to come take a look and take anything else, they can. But I do have a summary for what I have sold this weekend. You're gonna see that Saturday was 100 times better than the Sunday, but that's okay. That's kind of what I expected. In our area with garage sales, people don't normally do garage sales on Sundays. So I knew it would be, there would be very, very few people coming out. But I was able to sell kind of a few more big items, a few more pieces of furniture, so I'm really happy about that. Even though I didn't make any money really. People just coming and grabbing my stuff. It makes me happy with the decluttering that we've done. And I guess that's the main point I want to make. I wanted to do a bit of an experimental, a little bit of an experimental garage sale out here. So I live outside of town, about 15 minutes outside of town, so I'm not really close. I knew because I'm a little bit more isolated, we're a little bit more tucked in, I was going to have to advertise this garage sale in order to get people out. So what I did was I went on ChatGPT and I got them to make me a poster with the details for the sale. And I started probably about 2 weeks ago starting to put those on the community pages on Facebook, because typically when people have garage sales, that's where they put that information. So that's what I did. I took my poster and every couple of days I would repost it. And then I kind of started a bit of a countdown saying like, oh, 3 more days to go, lots of stuff. And then the night before, when everything was set up, I started taking photos of what I had. And I think that in particular was a bit game-changing, because people, they don't necessarily want to come out all the way out here unless there's something that they know for a fact that they're interested in. So I had quite a few people actually coming out on the Saturday saying, oh, I saw this on your post, do you still have it? Oh, I noticed that dresser, is that dresser still available? So key takeaways for me is I need to market these sales online so that people A, know that it's out here, and B, I need to make sure there's a few big ticket items, desirable items that people are actually looking for. So that is what I did, and I was super happy with the results. As the garage sale was going on as well, I kept updating with what was remaining to see if anybody else wanted to come out. And then of course by the Sunday, people tend to believe that there's nothing else good left because everything good was taken on Saturday, which I see how that would be the case. Personally, when I garage sale, sometimes I like to go at the end of the day, kind of near the end where they're closing, because I'm not necessarily looking for the same things that other people are in terms of brand new shiny items that they're selling for dirt cheap. I tend to like the vintage or the stuff that people might look over, and I know that I can get a really good deal at that point in the day on it, which, you know, they're practically giving that stuff away at that point. So it really depends on what you're looking for. But with that said, I'll show you what I made. So, like I said, Saturday was 1,000 times better than the Sunday. I do believe that the weather played a negative role in, I may have been able to get a few more people out here. It did start torrential downpour right around noon. And the weather just wasn't, you know, it wasn't super warm. There was overcast. It was slightly raining on and off. So I think if the weather maybe was a little bit nicer on the Saturday, there may have been a couple more people that came out. But I think overall, the advertising that I did on Facebook really helped to bring people out. So the total for day one was $916 Canadian. Really happy with that, but if I break this down for you, it'll make a little bit more sense how it was that much. I had a beautiful bar that I sold, and that alone was by far the highest ticket item that I had. That was $800. So aside from the bar, what I was actually able to make on the smaller stuff that day was about $116, which is still really good. Again, for the fact that A, I'm all the way out here, B, the weather wasn't great, I'm still very happy with how everything went. So that was my day one. My day one was definitely way better than my day two. One other thing I'd like to note is I had what's called a float. So when you run a garage sale or a market or anything like that, and you're dealing mostly with cash, you need to have a float. So if you can see it here. So I have change ready to go because people won't always have the exact change. So I have this, and before the start of the day, I counted everything in here. So I counted how many loonies I had, I counted how many toonies, I counted how many quarters, how many $5 bills, and I broke it all down that way, and I did the total so that when I start adding my profit to it, I can go back and subtract that at the end of the day. So that's what I did. So on the first day I started with a, where is it? On the first day, I started with like a $41 float just in cash like this. So obviously that doesn't count towards the $916 number I gave you. That's subtracted from that, and that was my pure profit. Well, I shouldn't say pure because I do have expenses. The second day, which is gonna make me laugh, the second day nearly was not as good. So I actually ended up increasing the float a little bit on the second day because I noticed a lot of people were taking a bunch of loonies and toonies and $5 bills. So I added a few of those just in case, so that I wasn't strapped for that. So I actually had a $59 float on the second day. But the second day, again, was not nearly as profitable as the first. I made a grand total of $5.25 on the second day. Truth be told, there was a couple people that came by and wanted little things but didn't have cash on them because they were out walking or whatever. I just gave them the item because at the end of the day, like, you got to remember why you're doing, like, what you got to remember when you're selling it. What's the intent here? Well, the intent for me was to get rid of this stuff, and if I can make a couple bucks from it, that's great. But at the end of the day, you know, if someone's willing to come take my stuff that I gotta go donate anyways, like, just take it. But yeah, $5.25 on that second day. What I started to do on that second day was I started uploading some of the remaining bigger items on Facebook Marketplace to see if I could get some interest that way. And today, Holiday Monday, I actually have at least 2 people coming out. One for a tree that I dug up, and they're gonna be coming and grabbing that for $10. And then this one remaining dresser that I have, and they're gonna come and get that for about $5. So I'm hoping to make about $15 today. You never know with Facebook Marketplace if they'll show up or not, but if I can do that, then that will bring this up to about $20, which again, I'll be very, very happy about, and I don't have to lug this stuff out. So with that said, let's talk about the expenses for this garage sale. The expenses for this garage sale were actually very, very low, but I knew that there was going to be 2 things that I really wanted to make this garage sale, to advertise it, but also to make my life easier with pricing. So the 2 things that I bought were pricing stickers that I could just tag on every single one. They're already pre-done, so if I want something for $1, I just take the dollar sticker and I put that on there. So that came out to be about $5.49 as an expense. And then the other 2 expenses I had were the sign that I had out front, that I still have out front. I paid for the billboard paper, 2 of them, as well as a bunch of balloons that I could stick out there. So those together were $2.83. So my grand total for the weekend was $921.25, but then I subtract that $8 in expenses, so I'm left with a pure profit of $912.93, which in my opinion is pretty damn good for something where you're just trying to get rid of stuff you don't want anymore, as opposed to giving it away. That is really good money. Again, I think a key factor in this is if you're going to run a garage sale and you want people to come out, you need to have a few really nice items to get people drawn out to it. Almost something that you wouldn't necessarily put in a garage sale because it's that expensive, but that will be enough to get people out here. And then, you know, they may buy other things, little trinkets here and there while they're already out, right? Psychology of shoppers or something like that. And then when you do have those items, take photos. Take photos, put them on the internet, and people will come out just based on if something caught their eye online. So yeah, there you have it. All in all, super happy with how this went. The money, the expenses that I got for this, I'm very happy to say we're gonna put down as an extra payment on our mortgage. So we're that much closer to owning our house entirely. So I know my husband's going to be really happy with making a few extra bucks and how empty this shop's going to look. So just an update, I made an extra $5 on a pine dresser. It was a dresser that I was going to refinish, but then ultimately I decided I wasn't super... The rule I gave myself for this garage sale is that unless I was super excited to refinish something, I was going to put it in the garage sale, and if it goes, it goes. So that was one more sale that I made for $5, which is not a lot, but honestly, I didn't do anything to it, and I got it for free, so $5 is $5. So that will bring my grand total up to $917.93 for profit. I'm hoping to sell one or two more things today, and I'm hoping that I can get my profit up to over 930 is my ultimate goal.
Alright, so this is all that is left after the garage sale. Not too bad.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. It's going to be an exciting summer. We're going to get a lot of projects done around the house, especially on the outside, and I'm hoping that you'll follow along as we get this done.